Enterprise resource planning software is no longer just for big and medium-sized businesses. Small companies can also use it and benefit from its revenue generating and cost containment features. In the last 5 years, the average price of ERP software investment has gone down, mostly because of China's and India's increased presence in the software production space, as well as advances in technology such as AI, cloud, and Internet of Things, all of which has sped up the R&D cycle for software developers and increased the availability of software programming talent. In this program, we go over 6 powerful functionalities that ERP software has: sales, marketing, client support, human resources, accounting, and operations. Now, Forbes publishes each year what it calls the 100 best small businesses, and countless news media reports have found that these top 100 small companies use cloud ERP software to supercharge sales, market products and services, support customers, manage clients and talent, control finances, and expand market share. Stay tuned for more. Welcome back to the Sweetie Kiwi Show. I'm very happy to have you today. I hope you are doing wonderful. I'm doing marvelous. If you are doing marvelous as I am, go grab a cup of coffee or tea or vodka and let's roll. Before we even talk about cloud ERP software, because this is really fantastic, you're going to love it, especially if you are a small business trying to start doubling or tripling sales. You are going to love it. Before we get into the nitty-gritty here, I want to give a shout out to our beautiful fans all over the world, specifically in the United States. I want to give a shout out to James Holland in Wayland, Iowa, Layla Booth in Des Moines, Iowa, and Sebastian Hawkins in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Thank you so much for the support. Now, when it comes to ERP, I want to break down into the 6 powerful tools that can really help you double sales, double revenue, increase market share, and crush the competition once and for all. Now, sales. When it comes to cloud enterprise resource planning software, remember that sales is one of the critical functions. Now, your sales team has a comprehensive set of tools, right, to sell efficiently across channels. If you have a good ERP software, a good cloud ERP software, the team has the ability to start selling across channels with a structured and repeatable sales process that takes you from lead to cash. Now, this is very important. Let me repeat that. You have a structured and repeatable sales process that takes you from lead to cash. So any lead you have can be converted into a paying customers, and you have a sort of repeatable business, right? Now, to sell across channels, it's very important to understand that cloud ERP software does something incredibly great for your small business. When there are a lot of ways to talk to customers, there are also a lot of ways to sell to them. With a cloud ERP software, you have the tools to close deals across channels. Now, what do I mean by that? You have CRM mobile, so this is customer relationship management mobile, which is part of the ERP suite, right? So you can sell in person and on the go with the CRM mobile app. You also have the email functionality, so you have the email channel, right? Again, we are thinking about a plurality of channels here. So email, you can associate every email exchange to a customer record, so that this goes into the definitive database, whereby you store all the customer records and all the client interactions. Telephone, you can bridge your CRM, you can bridge the sales part of your ERP and your phone system for smarter calls. We just released a very great show on CRM. If you want to know more about CRM, you might want to go and check that show. This goes deeper into details about, we did an entire show over CRM and how companies are using CRM to, make millions upon millions of dollars in sales every day. I'm talking about small businesses here. All right. So you also have social media. Now, it's very important. We live in a globalized world, right, where social media tend to occupy a predominant place, right? They are ubiquitous. They are everywhere. So you want to use social media to generate leads and follow customers also through social media. So this is another channel where you can sell. You can empower your sales team to provide a structured and repeatable sales process, again, that takes you from lead to cash. Another functionality that we found during the preparation of this show that we found extraordinary and very effective is live chat. You can chat with and sell to your website visitors, right? Because any website visitor is a potential lead, and any potential lead can be converted into a lifelong customer. And this is this sort of positive loop, this virtuous circle that you really want to improve, you really want to cultivate and polish over time, right? Now, another thing is online meetings. You can schedule online meetings and sales calls to increase not only the availability of your sales team, of your sales rep, but also the potential ability of those reps to close deals. So what am I talking about here? I'm talking to you about sales, and I'm telling you that the sales part of an ERP, of a cloud ERP software, allows a small business and a mid-sized business and a large business for that matter to really have a structured and a repeatable sales framework whereby they can take their business from lead. They can take any visitor, any potential client, from lead to cash. Now, let's talk about how to define and automate your sales process. Now, you don't have to do it. The good news is that the CRM tool within the cloud ERP, the enterprise resource planning software, allows you to do that. Now, remember that a sales process is defined as a series of repeatable and predictable steps that your sales team can improve over time, right? The thing is that if you have a good cloud ERP, and right now here, I really don't care about the provider, because if you use the state-of-the-art cloud ERP software, chances are all the functionalities that I'm talking about here will be in that cloud ERP software. So by using the latest version of any ERP software, any cloud ERP software, you can structure and automate your sales process for faster growth. You want to have more ka-ching in the bank, more market share, more customer engagement, and most importantly, a doubling or tripling or quadrupling of your sales number, right? So with CRM, again, CRM stands for Client Relationship Management. With CRM, which is the sales part of a cloud ERP, you are able to get a complete view of your customer, right? That's what you want. You want to have a 360 view of your client so that you can make the relevant action. You can propose to their clients new products or services based on their needs, because you can anticipate their needs. Remember, when it comes to selling, you're not a seller of a service or product, right? You are what? You are a solution provider. Think about that. You want to provide solutions. You're not providing products. You're not selling products or services. You are providing solutions, right? Another thing is that if you have your sales process management correctly embedded into the cloud ERP, this will allow you to not only build a structured and repeatable sales process, you can also have sub processes. So underneath that umbrella of the master sales process, you can have smaller sub processes, and this is very important. This is key. I'm going to go down deeper in the rest of this show to let you know why it's so important. The next thing the cloud ERP software allows you to do, the way it allows you to boost your sales, it allows you to boost your operations, is that it gives you business intel. So it gives you a business intelligence here, and with that intel, you are able to track sales target. First of all, you are able to define sales target. You are able to track them. You are able to pinpoint the average deal size, and you can really input as many KPIs as possible. KPI stands for key performance indicators. So a KPI can be the ranking of the customer, for example. Like if you have a sales quota for this customer, you want to sell 1 million. You want to have 1 million revenue from this customer a year. This could be another KPI. All right. I will be right back right after this. Welcome back, folks. We are still talking about cloud ERP software, which is this is a crazy tool that is doing wonders. It is doing wonders. It is allowing companies, according to a recent report by Bloomberg, a lot of small businesses are using, and this is Bloomberg News. They are using cloud ERP software to advance quickly. Right before 20 years ago, a small business needed about 20 years to become a mid-sized business. Nowadays, that 20 years has been shortened to 5 years. Right, this is why we have companies that became unicorn in the span of 2 years. Right, you have a small business that basically started making a few $100,000 in revenue, and after 2-3 years they become a unicorn. They are valued at more than $1 billion. Right, so the reason why they are able to do that is because those small businesses, and not only in Silicon Valley, by the way, you find these small businesses all over America and all over big countries, right? So they are using the tools and functionalities and tricks and tactics I am teaching you in this show. Now, we are still talking about sales, right? And I first told you to use a cloud ERP software to sell across channels. And the second thing I told you was to define and automate your sales process. Now, the third thing you can do with a cloud ERP software is you can create quotes, sales orders, and invoices. Now, you have to understand that the cloud ERP gives you the tools to generate and sign contracts that get you paid on time. This is important, right? Because the last thing you want is chasing customers and engaging in collection activities. You're not in that. Your business is not in that industry, right? And in addition, you don't want to destroy the relationship with the clients by chasing them through collections, by putting them through collections, right? So with the cloud ERP, what you have here, and again, this is key, this is big, folks. You can create things like quotes and estimates, so you can send quotes quickly. And remember, right, when it comes to quotes, generally, the first vendor to answer is the one who winning the business. So you want to be in a position where you can create and send quotes as rapidly as possible. Sales orders, you can generate sales orders ASAP. The last thing you want is to be lazy, lethargic while sending a sales order. You want to send it ASAP. When it comes to invoicing, this is an important thing. Now, cloud ERP gives you some kind of business intel that allows you, and this is very important, to convert approved estimates into invoices. So what you really want to do here is you are increasing your chances of making the customer or the prospect say, hey, you know what? I can see myself doing business with this company. And you do this through, AI powered invoicing. And you have this functionality in many state-of-the-art cloud ERP software. And the last thing you also can do with cloud ERP software is that you can really have digital signatures. You can send sales contract, and you can send sales contracts for digital signatures. This is another key thing, right? We live in a globalized world, right? So you're somewhere in Idaho, you already working on your small business, and you have a client in China. This is a $1 million deal. You don't have time to ship the contract and get it back. You don't want to do the digital signature where you have to scan things, fax it over, and then get it back. No. The cloud ERP allows you, through some kind of integration with the clients over there, and they have several ways of doing this. Sometimes you can do it through Microsoft Outlook, sometimes through other email systems, but you are able to send a sales contract for digital signatures ASAP, and your Chinese partner gets it. He or she gets back to you, and the deal is done. This is how you want to move fast. This is how big companies do it. This is how small companies, those who are super powerful, super rapid, that's what they do. Another thing is that you can empower your sales team with Cloud ERP, specifically with CRM that is adaptive and agile. Let me explain. When you have the right set of Cloud ERP software tools, your productive sales team, will use data from the system to place a lot of calls, right? The thing is that they require more than a list of leads to call. They need to have extra tools to stay motivated, right? And connected with your company. Because you have to understand, sales reps usually are very competitive beasts, right? They are competitive beasts by nature or by necessity, right? So they need a lot of extra tools to stay motivated and connected with your organization. So the thing is that Cloud ERP software, most Cloud ERP software tools have things like sales gamification. So what they do is they sort of, kind of motivate your sales team with things like context, surveys, games, and sales reps are very competitive by nature. So if you kind of throw in there some kind of game, that's bonanza. It's bonanza, right? And the thing you want to do is that please stay away from the lame employee of the month sort of tactics. Those things don't work anymore. Use gamification with games, with context. You can have teams, that kind of stuff. Again, do it in a very positive way, right? Because there is no actual loser, right? There is a winner, and the rest are the non-winners are not actual losers. Don't make people feel bad about participating in this sort of games, right? You got to find a way to make it funny and fun. Those are the key words. Find a way to make your gamification funny and fun. All right. Now, another thing that is very powerful is the business card scanning. Now, you can scan your business card info into the CRM to ensure you follow up. So let's say you just have a lead, you have a conversation, you just everything was fine, and you believe this lead could convert, right? And the person gives you, the prospect gives you his or her business card. You don't have time to if you meet 10 or 20 leads. Let's say you go to a fair, you go to an industry event, and you just collect 20 or 30 or 50 business cards. Nobody has time to stay in the office on Friday night when everybody else is having the happy hour to scan those business, at least to scan the business cards, or type them, not scan them. You want to type them, right? Nobody has the time to type them. So what you want to do is you just want to scan. You want to do multiple scans, right? And this, in 1 or 2 minutes, you have 50 business cards that whose info is aggregated into the ERP. Boom, right? Fantastic. So this is fantastic. So this is the kind of functionalities you have with Cloud ERP. Another thing that you have with Cloud ERP is Office Suite. So you can create and share sales documents, collateral, SLAs, presentations, follow-up, meeting minutes, this kind of stuff. And lastly, you also have team communication. You can empower your sales team, through chats. So you can chat with teammates one-on-one. You can do it in dedicated channels across devices. So, across mobile devices or tablets or a laptop or, again, desktop. Doesn't really matter. So this is how Cloud ERP software empowers sales in a small business. I will be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. I will be right back. Welcome back, folks, to this wonderful show, Sweetie Kiwi Show, and we are talking today about enterprise resource planning software, ERP software for small businesses. And I'm trying to really tell you, I'm giving you an idea of the top six functions where small businesses can grow exponentially through the use of ERP software. Now, I talked in the first section about the first powerful process is sales, right? Now I want to talk about marketing. Now, with cloud ERP software, your marketing team will have, at their disposal, a comprehensive set of tools to build your presence, to build your company presence online, send prospects the right messages, which is very important, and even more important, and get great returns on your marketing budget, right? Because we live in a world where every penny is counted, right? So you want to make sure that your every cent you spend on marketing has a huge ROI. And here is how you can do it. Now, before I talk about that, I quickly want to give a shout out to Fisher Jennings in Wayne, Kansas, Kelly Heath in Overland Park, Kansas, and Graham Zimmerman in Wichita, Kansas. I love you and I love your families, Graham, Kelly, and Fisher. Thank you so much for your support. We really appreciated it. And for those who are listening to us, please, if you like this kind of content, if you believe we are doing a good thing by sharing the powerful benefits of cloud ERP software for small businesses, please consider subscribing to our channel. We drop beautiful content once a day or twice a day, depending on our inspiration. And please turn on the notification button so you can be notified whenever we drop a new show. Please consider liking, please like this show if you think we're adding value to your business or to your life in general. Please share this content somewhere someone might need this content right now. We would appreciate it. And most importantly, please comment, smash the comment button. Please, share with the community what kind of cloud ERP software experience you have. If you used one before, if you own a business and you have questions about the topic, we'll be very happy. Our production team will be very happy to help you out. And also, last but not least, please watch all ads that we have inserted into this show, because this show is ad supported. Our production team needs the resources to be able to travel, to go on site, do investigation, report, write, interview, and all this kind of stuff to be able to produce a free, high quality content, right? And on top of that, we can also have the resources to hire more people into our production team. Having said that, let me jump right into the marketing part of things. With cloud ERP software, you can build and optimize your website and online store. This is very key, especially if you are an entrepreneur, right? And you rely on, and you have, a lot of digital assets, and you make 90% or 80% of your cash online. You want to have a strong cloud ERP, whether you need a new website or online store, or you just want to increase conversions for existing one. With the cloud ERP, you have the tools to track performance and test new ideas, which is very important. Again, if you are involved in several online adventures, you want to test things all the time. So within the cloud ERP software, you have a website builder. Think about it. You don't even need to hire a website designer anymore. You can quickly build a professional website from the ERP. You also can build an online store. Again, this sort of saves you costs from having to sign up for another company such as Shopify and others, right? You can do this through a cloud ERP software. You can build an online store and you can manage it right from the cloud ERP. Isn't that great? That's fantastic. And this is what those small companies, I'm telling you, this is what they've been doing. This is what those small businesses, this is what allows those small businesses to grow like crazy after 2 years. So they start with $0, and after 2-3 years, they become a unicorn. They are valued at least $1 billion. The third thing is that you also have something called visual analytics. So you can actually review heat maps and scroll maps to see how visitors use your website. So you have this sort of built-in little intel collectors, this sort of little spies, data spies that are integrated into the ERP that allows you, into the ERP software that allows you to review activities on your website, through heat maps and scroll maps. You also can run A/B testing, right? So you can run A/B tests to meet goals and improve website engagement, which is very important. And the last thing is, when it comes to building and optimizing your website and online store, you can personalize. Personalization is very important. So you can give website visitors bespoke experiences, personalized experiences, so people feel like VIPs, right? So so every client, every visitor that comes to your website will feel like a very important personality. And this goes to say that these little actions, what it does is it optimizes customer experiences. And when a customer is comfortable with your website, is comfortable with your online store, is comfortable with your branding, is comfortable with your company reputation online, guess what? They are gonna buy from you. And that's more ka-ching, 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 and ka-ching in the bank account. This is how you grow, right? So let's just now talk about how to engage prospects across channels here. Now, when I'm talking about channels, I'm talking about things like emails, social media, survey, live chat, in person, offline, so there are myriad ways, there are gazillion ways to engage clients and prospects. The thing is that with cloud ERP software, you have in one place, on one single platform, all tools that you need to be in the right place to say the right thing at the right time. Let me repeat that. With cloud ERP software, your small business has the ability to be in the right place to say the right thing at the right time. Isn't that beautiful? That's fantastic, right? That's just fantastic. So, when it comes to email marketing, for example, you can create, send, and track effective and productive email campaigns. You can have custom forms where you create forms to capture lead and client information. Again, those things could trigger sales in the short term. On social media, you can post to and monitor your social media accounts from one place. So no need to really hire again a social media management agency, right? You can track everything from one single platform. When it comes to surveys, you can send very specific and targeted surveys to learn more about your customers. Again, these things are very helpful. And when it comes to live chat, you can monitor and chat with your website visitors in real time, really here. And again, when it comes to offline events, you can run successful in-person events, whether it is fairs or company visit. Again, this you can do so by tapping into the client data that is contained within the cloud ERP software. All right, we'll be right back right after this. Don't go away. Don't go anywhere. I'm watching you. Welcome back, folks, to the Sweetie Kiwi Show. We are the world's largest infotainment show, and right now we're just talking about cloud ERP software. Right now, enterprise resource planning software is no longer just for big and medium-sized businesses. Small companies can also use it and benefit from its revenue-generating and cost containment features. In the last 5 years, the average price of ERP software investment has gone down, mostly because of China's and India's increased presence in the software production space, as well as advances in technologies such as artificial intelligence, cloud, and Internet of Things, all of which have sped up the R&D cycle for software developers and increased the availability of software programming talents. Now, in today's program, I'm going over with you 6 powerful functionalities of ERP software: sales, marketing, client support, human resources, accounting, and operations. The magazine Forbes publishes each year what it calls the 100 best small businesses, and countless news media reports have found that these top 100 small businesses use cloud ERP software to supercharge sales, market products and services, support customers, manage talents, control finances, and expand market share. So stay tuned for more. We've already talked about sales and marketing, right? Now we want to talk about support. Now, before we get into the support part of things, let me just quickly say that we're not even talking about support yet, because we have more to say about marketing here. So marketing, we still have an entire section about marketing. So before we talk about support, let's go back and talk about marketing. So marketing, you can also automate your marketing processes and boost your ROI. Let me just explain. So if you get into a position where you can have repeatable and measurable marketing processes, these processes allows you to shorten the sales cycle, right? And by shortening the sales cycle, you can sell quickly and you can better align your sales and marketing team. Now, there are several ways of doing that. For example, there is something called marketing automation. So you can automate marketing processes with visual customer journeys. So visual client journeys is a powerful tool because it is a mapping of all the different steps that a lead, like a website visitor, takes to become a lead, to become a prospect, to become a customer. And having that intel is powerful, folks. It is powerful. It allows you to really shorten the sales cycle. Also, another thing that is important is that the CRM portion of the cloud ERP software allows you to attribute results of marketing campaigns to individual customers, which is very important, because if you want to create a personalized approach, a personalized sales framework for each customer, you need to know which individual customers, for instance, has responded positively to a marketing campaign, right? Of course, you also need to have business intelligence, right? So the business intelligence part of a feature in a cloud ERP software allows you to track things like KPIs, ROIs, lead volumes. Again, KPI stands for key performance indicators, and you can track all these things from a single platform. Isn't that beautiful? That's just beautiful here, right? So that's what we want to talk about here. So you can automate marketing processes and boost your ROI. And now, another beautiful thing here is that you can work as a team to get more stuff done. Remember, we are still in the marketing part of that cloud ERP. So marketing teams need to have the tools to reach new customers. So with the cloud ERP software, they get the tools to create content, collaborate with other teams, and most importantly, stick to budget, right? You don't want to start having, as a small business, your cash might be already tight. So the last thing you want is to have cost overruns or budget overruns. So you want the marketing team to constantly do this sort of variance analysis, right? When it comes to budget, to sort of look at the actual cost versus the budgeted cost, and really keep the variance to the minimum, to the lowest possible, right? And they can do so. The marketing team, they can do so through the Office suite that you have in a cloud ERP, so they can collaborate with teammates in real time on documents, presentations, spreadsheets, infographics, this kind of stuff, right? They can also do team messaging, so they can actually chat with teammates one-on-one or in dedicated channels, right, across devices, for instance. They can also engage in project management, whereby they can create projects to assign tasks, to specify priorities, to meet deadlines, to raise concerns, this kind of stuff. And you also have online meetings, right? So this is whereby the teams have the ability to use embedded features in the cloud ERP software in order to host online meetings with colleagues, customers, partners, and other members of your value chain. Here I'm talking about your logistics, specialists, or your distributors, your suppliers, your vendors, this kind of stuff. All right. So this is pretty much it for marketing. We'll be right back right after this. Welcome back, folks, to this wonderful show that we call Sweaty Kiwi Show. And I have already talked to you about sales and marketing, how these two powerful elements were very important, and that, how cloud ERP software can help a small business boost its productivity and make more sales and make more money, generate more ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching through the use of cloud ERP software. Now, I want to talk to you now about support, right? Because you want to empower your support team, right? But before you do that, you need to have the right tools. But before I even talk about that, let me first say something. I want to give a shout out to three lovely and wonderful listeners and fans and viewers among the millions of viewers we have. So Isaiah Osborne in Clyde, Kentucky. Isabella Christian in Louisville, Kentucky. And Jordan Gamer in Lexington, Kentucky. So Jordan, Isabella, and Isaiah, we love you. Thank you so much. We give you millions of hugs from all our other viewers to you and your families. We appreciate. We are very grateful for the support, for the tips, for the feedback on the topics we choose. Thank you so much. Let's talk now about support. Now, your support team needs a comprehensive tools, right? They need a comprehensive area of tools to have, to manage customer relationships across channels, right? They need to resolve problems quickly, rapidly, because the last thing you want is to have a negative review online, right? So you want to quickly improve customer satisfaction. So there are a few ways to do this, and I'm going to show you right now. Here is the secret you are actually looking for. Number one, you want to be able to empower your team to support customers across channels. This is very important, folks. I see a lot of small business owners fail because they are only supporting clients through their website. Whereas, you can have clients on social media, you can have clients on other channels, via email, via live chats, so you have to develop this cross-channel mentality so that you know that the money can come from any channel, and there are customers are trying to reach you through a variety of channels, and your ability to create operational synergy, marketing synergy, sales synergy across all channels is going to be the kickoff to your financial glory, the kickoff to your profit glory. Is going to be the kickoff to make you earn more money. Okay, so you want to basically support customers over the phone, right? So you want to bridge your help desk with your phone system. Via email, you want to create an email support aliases for a professional look, right? You can use cloud ERP to support customers across social media. So when you turn social media posts into support tickets, this is powerful, right? You can have self-service. So what you do is you empower customers with self-service support resources, right? So you can create a whole set of tutorials, FAQs, infographics, whereby customers can get answers on their own and not necessarily have to rely on a live team, right? So you have live chat whereby Your team can chat with customers and website visitors online. And the last thing here is that you can support customers through remote assistance, right? This depends again on the kind of industry you're in, but in some industries it is necessary. If you're selling a product that is especially in the IT industry, you can take control of your client's desktop to solve problems remotely. Or if it's very hard and very complicated to explain the problem, or the client has difficulty fixing the problem, you take control of the client's desktop and you can provide solutions ASAP. Another thing you can do with cloud ERP software for small businesses is that you can define and improve the support system continually, right? There is something called operational strategists call it total quality management. I call it ASAP quality management, live quality management, because good support team, excellent support team are always quick. They are consistent, right? They are friendly. They are helpful. So the thing here is that you want to have, through cloud ERP software, you want to get the tools to construct synergy across your support team, and you want to create efficient and repeatable support processes for your team to follow. Because right now, the bottom line here is that you don't have to reinvent the wheel. The wheel has already been invented. The processes, the best practices are already there. So what cloud ERP software is allowing you to do is that to tap into the pool of very positive practices already, very efficient practices already out there in the market, to tap into that and to just replicate them. No need to try to go into a brainstorming session, not sleeping at night and have a nightmare about your business going under. No. Just pick whatever is working. So the things you have to do here is that you have to do things like, support process automation, right? So you automate the whole thing. So you define and automate your support process. And there are tools you can use. And every vendor of cloud ERP software has those processes embedded. All right. And you also have business intelligence. So you can track ticket resolution times, customer satisfaction levels, and other KPIs. And another important KPI here is the customer reviews online, right? So if you have to Google your company, you have to Google yourself, your company, and see what kind of reviews that the clients are leaving online. This is very important. Now, you can also improve client happiness. This is key, folks. You definitely want to be in the business whereby you are improving customer satisfaction, and quick response and resolution times are key. They are critical to a stellar customer support experience, right? So the thing is that cloud ERP software provides your support reps with tools to respond quicker and keep customers happy. This is where the sophisticated technology plays a key role, plays a pivotal role, right? Because you have something like artificial intelligence. Now, artificial intelligence speeds up the response and resolution times. You can also use the CRM part of your ERP software that helps you use sales and purchase data for superior support experiences. Another thing that is very important here is that you can use the team communication feature to enable one-on-one chat with the customers, and you can do so through the chat module or within channels, so that the customers can find you or find answers and find solutions to their questions quickly. All right, this is pretty much it for support, and I'll be right back right after this, and we'll talk about human resources, another juicy topic. I'll be right back. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Kiwi, another section of this wonderful show. I'm just having fun. I hope you're having fun too, right? I hope you are doing well. Are you taking notes? Take notes, because this is important. This is important for your small business. A lot of companies, a lot of small businesses are using Cloud ERP to multiply their value by 10, 30, 50 times within a span of 2, 3, 5 years. If your business is worth 100,000 today, through the use of Cloud ERP software, you can multiply that value of 100,000 by 50, so you'll be at 5 million. Your business will be worth 5 million within 2 or 3 years, again through the smart use of Cloud ERP software. This is very important, folks. Now, if you just joined this show here, let me just give you a little context, a little conceptual framework that we are using in this show. Now, enterprise resource planning software is no longer just for big and medium-sized businesses. Small companies can also use it and benefit from its revenue generating and cost containment features. In the last 5 years, the average price of ERP software investment has gone down, mostly because of China's and India's increased presence in the software production space, as well as advances in technology such as artificial intelligence, cloud, and Internet of Things, all of which has sped up the R&D cycle for software developers and increased the availability of software programming talent. Now, in this program, we are going over 6 powerful functionalities of Cloud ERP software: sales, marketing, client support, human resources, accounting, and operations. Now, Forbes publishes each year what it calls the 100 best small businesses, and countless news media reports have found that these top 100 small companies use Cloud ERP software to supercharge sales, market products and services, support customers, manage talents, control finances, and expand market share. Now, we've already seen the first 3. I want you to stay tuned for more information in the last 3. So we've already covered sales, we've talked about marketing, we've talked about support. Now we are going to attack human resources. This is very important. This is another juicy element here. Human resources. Don't go anywhere here. Now, let's talk about human resources. Now, your organization will have, through a Cloud ERP software, a Cloud ERP software platform, a comprehensive set of tools to find new talent and empower employees, which is very important. Now, first, you need to find new talents, right? Now, for your company to grow, you got to hire new people, right? So the software gives you the tools to find the right people for the right jobs. So for instance, you can fill openings, you can create openings and post them to job boards. There are thousands of job boards out there. Hundreds, not thousands. There are hundreds of job boards online. At least the reputable ones are, you have about 800. You can have something called resume parsing. So basically what you do is you can automatically turn submitted resumes into searchable candidates records. You can schedule interviews with candidates and hiring managers. And the good thing is, which is beautiful here, you can create offer letters, right? You can create and send offer letters for digital signatures. So you actually, are shortening the hiring cycle here. So you can go from, if normally it takes you a month or 2 to hire competent talent, you can shorten that to 2 weeks. Imagine the savings. Imagine the savings in inefficiency, the savings in loss in wasted money and resources. You are actually curbing those wastes, right? Now, when it comes to onboarding and empowering employees, Cloud ERP software can also help you, because remember, your staff constitute a precious asset, right? So with Cloud ERP, you have the tools and tactics and features to develop talent and build a strong business. So when you onboard clients, you can get new employees started faster with an automated onboarding process. Again, the gain here in time is very important. You can track time, manage timesheets, track attendance and other stuff, so that you are making sure that employees are working and productive on the tasks that they have been assigned to them. You can create policies, right? Specifically HR policies, and get documents signed, which is very important. You can manage time off, right? By giving employees a self-service portal to request time off. Now remember, all these things, all these functionalities are part of the CRM, are part of the ERP software tool, right? Usually they will be part of the HRM. So that will be the human resource management section of the ERP. And you can, most importantly, you can also have the performance reviews. So you can manage and save performance reviews for later reviews, which is very important, right? Now, another thing you want to think about, which is also very critical here, is this. It's you want to create a collaborative culture, right? Through through a smart use of Cloud ERP software. And the software does a great job at giving you the tools that shape the way people work in your organization. If you, for instance, if you have, a team that is really spread across the world, where people work from offices, in the United States, in South Africa, in Chile, in Vietnam, in Latvia, in the UK, you have a global team. You need to create a collaborative culture, and Cloud ERP software gives you the tools that foster collaboration and productivity across your organization and across cultures, across hierarchy levels, across departments, across functional units, across I would say basically, across process clusters, like if you have people in marketing, in sales, in operations, all these people, through the smart utilization of Cloud ERP software, you are able to foster collaboration and productivity. Now, how do they get that? Through the use of Office Suite, right? So you can create and share HR policies and training presentations. When it comes to team communication, they can chat with teammate one-on-one. Again, this is very important. Or they can chat, they can communicate, they can correspond in dedicated channels, right? Again, across devices. So here we are talking about, phone, yourself, through smartphones, tablets, desktops, and laptops. Now, you can also create an internal social network. Now, the power and popularity of social network is due to the fact that people feel comfortable in this kind of environment, in this kind of ecosystem to communicate. So the Cloud ERP software allows you to have something similar within your company. So this will be an intranet. No need to build another intranet. You already have an embedded social network within your Cloud ERP software. This is a big one, folks. Let me repeat that. You already have an internal social network embedded within your Cloud ERP software. So you don't need anymore to build an intranet. So you can make posts, join groups, you can collaborate with colleagues, you can participate in projects, you can even expand your company, your organization, CSR initiatives. CSR stands for corporate social responsibility. That's how this was like, the sort of charitable activities that your business can get involved in order to increase its reputation in the industry or in the community, right? So this is the sort of things you can do with human resources when it comes to Cloud ERP software. I will be right back right after this. Welcome back, folks, to Sweetie Kiwi, the world's largest infotainment show. We are talking today about cloud ERP software, and if you just joined us, please consider subscribing to our channel if you love the content so far. If you, please make sure you turn on the notification bell so you are aware whenever we drop a new show. Please also like this show. Show us some love, and we will love you back. Please share this content if you know someone who might benefit from it, and comment below. Let us know your experience with cloud ERP software. Again, ERP stands for Enterprise Resource Planning Software. This is a sort of consolidated software that a lot of small businesses are using to grow their operations. And last but not least, please watch all the ads in our videos. We rely on this show is ad supported. We rely on resources generated through ads to support the production team, to hire more people, to conduct investigation, to finance all the trips that we have to do to be able to interview people for this for the research for the show. And all of this we are doing it so we can provide a free high quality content to our audience. Now let's talk about accounting. Before that, I want to give a shout out to Brendan Merrill in Powhatan. This is in Louisiana. Yesenia Melton, she is in New Orleans, Louisiana, of course. And Landon Wagner, again, in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. So Brendan Merrill, Yesenia Melton, and Landon Wagner, we love you all the way to Louisiana. Thank you so much. Now, accounting. With cloud ERP software, you have at your disposal, your company has at its disposal a comprehensive set of tools to organize your finances, manage bills and expenses, track payables and receivables. Right? Now, the first thing is you want to get your finances in order. So your company, of course, wants to keep on top of its finances, right? So you need to keep them organized. With the cloud ERP software, you have the accounting tools to categorize transactions, track cash flows, that's inflows and outflows, and monitor your financial situation. And most important thing is you can monitor that in real time. So you want to keep your accounts organized to track your assets and liabilities. Again, assets stands for what your company has, and liabilities are your company's debts. You can connect your bank account to automatically import transactions, which is very important, because the last thing you want to know is that you are placing orders, and you're placing orders and you realize that you don't have enough money, enough cash, enough liquidity to finance a certain transaction. So by linking your bank account to your cloud ERP, the accounting side of things, you can automatically import and export transactions. You can also track the financial health through, tax summary reports, through statements of cash flows, through balance sheets, and through profit and loss statements, right? And more, right? Depending on your industry, you can customize some reports based on your industry and based on your operations. Now, another thing that is very important here is that you can track receivable and get paid on time. You want to get paid on time. The most important thing is that you can close the deal, right? Closing the deal is the one thing. Closing the deal is one thing, but marking an invoice as paid is another. So with tools that you have embedded in the cloud ERP software, you are able to track all receivables. You can create quotes, invoices, right? And you can track receivables. So things like estimate, you can create and send estimates to the clients. Invoices, you can create and send partial, project-based, or recurrent invoices. So the deal here is to automate everything, so you don't have to manually input those things every month. Okay, and also when it comes to payments, you can collect payments from customers. This is again very important because you need to have a strong, healthy financial situation here, right? And the thing also is that you want to match transaction. You want to match transactions across the board. So match payments with invoices to keep an accurate records of accounts. This is key, folks, right? So this is how you kind of manage this part of your marketing. Now, another thing you need to do is you need to match, because you know, before, like I just told you how to manage receivables and get paid on time. Now, the flip side of that is you need to manage payables and expenses, right? This is very important. So you want to know where your money goes, because it is as important as knowing where it comes from. So by investing in a cloud ERP software tool, you are receiving all the tools you need to manage all your payables, right? From employee expenses to vendor bills. You want to know really how, the cash outflow. This is really the bottom line here, cash outflows. All right. And through ERP, you are receiving the tools to do so. You can also manage things like purchase orders, so you can create and send purchase orders. This is very important. You can also do expense management, so you can scan receipts and manage expenses on mobile devices and the web, right? Because you want to manage your expenses and track them across channels, across various devices. Things like mileage is very important. A lot of small businesses, especially if you are in an industry where you use predominantly transportation, terrestrial transportation, so you want to track mileage on employee activities for reimbursement. And the last thing that is very important also is time tracking. So you can track time for employees based on project, right? So like I said earlier, this is particularly relevant if you're managing or overseeing a global team, whereby the rules might be different based on the location of the team member. But the thing is, if you have the right cloud ERP software tool, you can track those movements regardless of the location of the employee. We'll be right back right after this. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Kiwi. I'm very happy to have you here. I hope you are doing fantastic, because I am doing marvelous. And now I want to talk to you about operations. So operations is basically the last function, And before, just gonna give you a context of what we're talking about here. What are we talking about here? We are talking about ERP. Now, enterprise resource planning software is no longer just for big and medium-sized businesses. Small companies can also use it and benefit from its revenue generating and cost containment features. In the last 5 years, the average price of ERP software investment has gone down, mostly because of China's and India's increased presence in the software production space, as well as advances in technology such as AI, cloud and Internet of Things, all of which has sped up the R&D cycle for software developers and increased the availability of software programming talent. In this program, I'm going over 6 powerful functionalities of ERP software: sales, marketing, client support, human resources, accounting, and operations. Now, Forbes magazine publishes each year what it calls the 100 best small businesses, and countless news media reports have found that these top 100 small companies use cloud ERP software to supercharge sales. Can you believe that? It's amazing. To market products and services, to support customers, to manage talent, to control their finances and expand market share. So I've already talked to you about 5 items. We've covered sales, marketing, support, human resources, accounting, and now we are going to talk about operations. Now, operations, when it comes to operations, cloud ERP, it's very powerful, because what it does is it gives you a comprehensive set of tools to fulfill orders quickly, manage internal and customer-facing projects, create custom apps for unique processes, idiosyncratic processes, and also create custom and also expand the business model. This is where you basically expand your market share. Now, first, The software allows you to do what? To fulfill orders and deploy services. Once a purchase is made, you have to process orders, right? Now, the cloud ERP software gives you the tools and functionalities and the features to deploy, to fulfill orders and to deploy services quickly so you can meet client expectations, right? So you can manage orders, you can fulfill orders from purchase to delivery and beyond. You have multi-channel selling, right? Again, we talked about all the multiple channels, so you can manage your inventory, right? And orders across channels, both offline and online. You have warehouse management. This is another one where you can manage stock levels across multiple warehouses if that's what you want, because again, sometimes nowadays customers are trying to outsource the warehouse portion of their operation to other companies. But if this is what you have, then so be it. So you have project-based billing, so you can generate invoices based on time tracked within projects, right? This is very key. And the last thing, which is very critical here, is that resource utilization. Now, this is a big one, folks, because if you are a small business, chances are your resources are already limited. So you want to utilize them optimally, right? So you want to keep the resources of projects using things like resource utilization charts, Gantt charts, and other project management tools. Okay, now there is operational strategies called TQM, that's total quality management, and this sort of falls back within the overall umbrella of resource utilization. This is very important. Now, besides the ability to fulfill orders and deploy services, you also can, through cloud ERP software for small businesses, you can manage projects with your preferred methodology. Now, remember, there are several ways to manage a project, right? Depending upon your industry, depending upon everything, the kind of products or services you sell or provide, depending upon the operational stage in which you're in, whether you are a fast growth company or you are just starting, you need to choose the right project management tool to find the best way to get more stuff done, and get more stuff done at very cheaply. The last thing you want to start is like losing money. So you have a lot of tools. For example, you have something called waterfall project management, right, where you break projects into milestones, task list, and tasks. This is very important. You have another one called agile project management, where you use the agile methodology to manage ongoing projects. This is another tool. This is very popular anyway, especially in technology projects. You have task boards, right, where you can manage smaller projects with Kanban task boards. This is very good, especially for short projects. You can use Kanban task boards. You have things like internal social network that I talked about before, which is some kind of mini internal Facebook or YouTube, where you allow employees and staff to join groups, to collaborate with colleagues, to comment on other colleagues' work, to make posts. This is very important. And lastly, well, we're not finished yet, where you have something called team communication. Again, we've seen this before, but this also applies to the operation side of things. So teammates can actually, interact with, interact one-on-one or in dedicated channels across devices, again, across multiple devices. All right, so this is it for operations. I still have 2 other sections to cover here, but I'll do so right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks. We're still here today, and we're still talking about cloud ERP software tools and the beauty of such a tool, how it has allowed more than 1,000 companies in the United States and overseas to grow, to actually multiply their value by 100 over 2, 3, 5 years. And we are trying to see how you too can use this tool to grow your business like crazy. All right. Now before I jump into the next section here, I want to basically give a shout out to Terry Avery in Lisbon Falls. This is in Maine. Leah Burnett in Portland, Maine, and Marcelo Downs in Bar Harbor, and that's Maine. I love that city. I was there a few years ago. Bar Harbor, a wonderful city in Maine. Thank you so much, Marcelo, Leah, and Terry. Now let's really quickly jump into the conversation we're having here. If you like this show so far, please consider subscribing, because we continually produce this sort of high quality shows. We love producing this. So, turn on the notification bell so you are kept in the loop whenever we drop the new gem. Like this show, share with people whom you believe might actually like it. You want to also comment if you have insights, or you have any question about this content. Please comment below. We are always very responsive. We appreciate hearing from our audience, our listeners, our viewers. It's just beautiful to exchange in a very sort of constructive way. And if you have experience in the topic, please comment below. Let the Sweetie Kiwi community know, and we'll really appreciate it. Now we want to continue talking about operations and how cloud ERP software for small businesses can really offer customers, a client portal. If you are a small business, you can use cloud ERP software, at least the operations functionality of it, to create a client portal. So you can have an online store and a subscription billing. Because think about it, we live in a globalized world. Then there are millions of entrepreneurs who want to get onto the online business. So if you are doing business online, it certainly comes with new opportunities, right? To sell to and connect with customers. So if you have the right tools, you can seize new opportunities. You can grow your business. You can expand. You can scale your current operations, right? So things like Client Portal, for instance, give you the ability. It gives you a place to sign in online and manage your transactions. You can manage your transactions from a single portal, and you can do so in real time, right? And you have the ability to also build a store. Now, I already talked about the store building aspect when I was discussing the sales aspect, right? So you can build an online store. You can build and manage your own online store. No need to rely on a third party such as Shopify to host and manage your store. You have everything embedded within the cloud ERP software that you have. You can also manage and oversee things like subscriptions, reviews, online reviews. So when it comes to subscriptions, you have things like, you can offer clients, subscription model pricing with automated recurring billing. So you are sure that, you are making money automatically, which is where you want to be, really, right? You can also have a tool to track reviews, third-party reviews. So reviews left on third-party websites such as Google or TripAdvisor or other websites, depending on the industry you're in. And this is very important. Now, you can also, if you are interested, you can also create custom apps for unique processes, right? Because it's very important. You have to understand, we live in a world where it all boils down to innovation. It all boils down to inventiveness, to differentiations. You want to come up with idiosyncratic tools, right? And those idiosyncratic tools are usually the hallmarks of great businesses. So with cloud ERP software, specifically on the operations side, you are able to use the tools, the embedded tools, to construct custom apps, integrations, and dashboards to basically raise your competitive advantage. Because the bottom line here is you want to crush your rivals, right? You want to be able to get ahead in the game. So those tools are already embedded. So you can use things like custom web and mobile apps, so you can build custom web and mobile apps to handle your unique business processes. No need to outsource the job to a third party. You can get everything done from the cloud ERP. You can actually also have integrations, so you can connect your cloud ERP services with third-party apps. And more important, you can also collect business intelligence, which is really fantastic. You can collect business intelligence by creating custom reports and dashboard from any data sets. So this is basically, the kind of stuff that Cloud ERP allows you, especially in the operational side. So, one thing I also want to mention is that it is important as you think about switching, or you think about, Cloud ERP software, make sure that you are able to talk to a vendor who understands your business, the kind of business you're in, and has established a long reputation in that industry. All right, we'll be right back right after this. Welcome back, folks, to Sweetie Kiwi Show. We are talking today about Cloud ERP software. If you just joined us today, we are about to wrap up the show. I would strongly advise you to go back to the beginning of the show and just watch the whole show, because we have put a lot of good content in there, and just want to give you the context of what we talked about today. Now, enterprise resource planning software, if you think about it, is no longer just for big and small sized businesses. Small companies can also use it and benefit from its revenue generating and cost containment features. In the last 5 years, the average price of ERP software investment has gone down, mostly because of China's and India's increased presence in the software production space, as well as advances in technology such as AI, cloud, and Internet of Things, all of which has sped up the R&D cycle for software developers and increased the availability of software programming talent. In this program, we have gone over 6 powerful functionalities of ERP software. We've talked about sales, marketing, and client support, as well as human resources, accounting, and operations, right? Now, Forbes magazine publishes each year what it calls the 100 best small businesses, and countless news media reports have found that these top 100 small companies used cloud ERP software to supercharge sales, market products and services, support customers, manage talent, control finances, and expand market share. So these are the things that I have spoken to in the last, in the last few minutes or hour or 2 hours or 3 hours, doesn't really matter, right? So this is what I've talked about. So just kind of recap here. In sales, I've talked about how to sell across channels, how to define and automate your sales process, how to create quotes, sales orders, and invoices, how to empower your sales team. In marketing, I had a conversation around how cloud ERP software can help you build and optimize your website and online store, how to engage prospects across channels, how to automate marketing processes and boost your ROI, how to work as a team to get more stuff done. In support, cloud ERP software allows you to support customers across several channels, allows you to define and improve your support process. It helps you also improve customer happiness. When it comes to human resources, small business cloud ERP software allows you to find new talent, to onboard and empower employees, and to create a collaborative nature. Right now, we have the last two functions are accounting and operations. So cloud ERP software is very great at helping you get your finances in order, track receivables, and get paid on time. This is very critical, folks. We want to get some ka-ching and ka-ching and ka-ching in the bank account, right? Also helping you manage payables and expenses. Now, that was for accounting. Now, for the last function, which is operations, Cloud ERP software allows you to fulfill orders and deploy services, manage projects with your preferred methodology, to offer customers, a client portal, online store, and subscription billing. And most importantly, also help you create custom apps for unique processes. So that's really what was it we talked about, sales, marketing, support, HR, accounting, and operations. Now, the call to action. In every show, we like to give a call to action to our listeners and viewers, because we believe that information is power, but action is omnipotence. Action is super duper powerfulness. So in today's show, our call to action is sort of regrouped into those 6 sub actions. First, understand why your business needs ERP software. Document the requirements, your operational requirements. Prioritize functional areas. Understand software tiers. Align your people, priorities, processes, and technology. That's what I call 3P plus T. So people, priorities, processes, and technology. Now, shop for ERP software and ensure that the vendor meets your 3P plus T requirements. All right, this is basically what you need to do to clinch the market share you want, to make more money, to make your sales explode, to hire talent to your business. All right, so this is it, folks. This is we just gotta wrap it up for today. This was great having you as part of the conversation. I will see you next time. And oh yes, I still have to give you a pro tip. You want to listen to this pro tip, because this will help you actually understand the concept of cloud ERP software even more. But I'll tell you right after this. Okay, here you have it. In today's pro tip, I want you to focus on the customer experience and also the change management aspect of it as you switch your cloud ERP software. Standardize some of your processes. And lastly, define clearly your KPIs, your key performance indicators. That was it, folks, for today. Have a great time and stay more of a way.